This year, in the month of February and March, I spent 4 days each at two of the Krishnamurti Foundation schools in Chennai. One is The School, which is on the outskirts of Chennai, and the other one is Pathshala, school about 35 to 40 kilometers from the city. I conducted workshops for the teachers, students, and also some of the parents, and it was a way of getting them to know birds. But I approached the workshop with slight difference. Typically what happens is we go to a different uh, set of children and then tell them about the birds, and then show them the birds and give them the name. And typically what the children also do, or the participants do, is just note down the name of the birds, and they hardly look at the birds other than writing the name, or maybe just appreciating it for a second, and then they move on to the next species. They hardly get to observe the bird in detail. So at the start of the workshop, I explained to them that the names of the birds will not be revealed to them. They can use books like Salim Ali's or other books to find out the names, but they will have to observe the bird carefully, look at the details like the various features, the calls, the habitat in which the bird is found, and also details like its behavior and what it's doing, where it is found, the habitat in which it's found, and things like that. Initially there was a little bit of resistance. People also were a little skeptical, and they said, how are we to find out the names? Then I said, you try it out and let's see. So at the end of this session, I would give them the books and then ask them to use the tables in the birds of the Indian Book of Indian Birds by Salim Ali, where features of the birds are given, colors are given, things like that. So they very soon picked up the method of identifying the birds using these tables, and I got very positive feedback from the participants. And there was one teacher who came to me and said at the end of the workshop, I didn't want to participate in this workshop because I knew very little about birds, and there are a lot of others who were moving around with enough knowledge of birds, and they would flaunt their knowledge. So I thought this is going to be a place where I will not be very comfortable. But then at the end of the workshop, I found that your approach was very good, and it was good that the children were able to actually see the bird, look at what it's doing, where it is found, and things like that, rather than just knowing the names. Because typically what happens in a workshop or a session where we take children out bird watching is that we just spend a lot of time trying to look at the telling them the names of the birds, but they don't look at the bird in detail. So this way I think the workshop was successful. I hope in future when we conduct workshops we could also think of this format. Thank you.